Alex sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the small metal device in his hand. It was his latest experiment, an old teleportation prototype he had been working on for months in his cluttered garage. Science magazines called it impossible, his teachers called it dangerous, and his mom called it something you'll regret. But Alex didn't care. He had spent years imagining what it would feel like to step from one place to another in an instant. Today he was going to try it. He glanced around his room, making sure nothing valuable was nearby. Posters of stars, spaceships, and famous scientists decorated the walls. His cat Whiskers pawed at a shoelace, completely unconcerned about the strange glowing device in Alex's hand. Alex took a deep breath and pressed the small red button. A soft hum filled the room, the lights flickered, and the air seemed to vibrate. Nothing happened. Alex frowned and muttered, "Maybe I need to calibrate it more." Before he could touch the device again, the air in the middle of his room shimmered. It was like heat rising off a summer road, only faster and brighter. Then, in a sudden pop of light and sound, a figure appeared in front of him. Alex jumped back in shock. A girl about his age stood blinking in confusion. Her hair was a bright, unusual color, almost glowing in the dim light, and her clothes shimmered as if made of liquid metal. She looked around the room like a cat entering a strange house. Hi," Alex stammered, holding up the device. How did you?" The girl waved her hand, still looking confused. "I don't know. I was supposed to be at the academy, but something went wrong." "Where am I?" Alex stared at her. The academy? That sounded not from Earth. His heart raced with excitement and fear. He had just accidentally teleported an alien, or maybe she had teleported into his room by accident. "My name is Alex," he said cautiously. "This is my room. You just appeared here." She looked at him, eyes wide, then gasped. You're human. I've never met one in real life." Alex froze. Humans were normal here, but in her world apparently humans were special. He tried to remember everything he knew about alien encounters from books and movies. I'm normal," he said. "You are extraordinary," she said softly. "I can sense your potential. Your mind, your courage, your curiosity. Humans are rare in my galaxy. Most species are careful, cautious, predictable, but you," her voice trailed off as if she couldn't find the right words. Alex blinked. Thanks, but seriously, where did you come from?" She looked around nervously, tapping the device in his hand. "That is my transporter." "But it's damaged. I didn't mean to end up here." A loud crackle interrupted her. The device in Alex's hand beeped rapidly and glowed brighter. Sparks flew. "Don't touch that," she shouted. But it was too late. The device hummed violently, and Alex felt his hair stand on end. The lights flickered again. Something in the room felt alive, almost like the house itself was aware of what was happening. Before he could react, a small holographic screen popped out of the device, showing schematics of a strange star system. The girl leaned closer. "That's the coordinates of my home planet. If we fix this device, I could go back. But if it's unstable," she shook her head. Alex swallowed hard. "Unstable how?" She looked him straight in the eye. "It could open a portal anywhere, anytime, even into dangerous worlds. That's why teleportation is forbidden for most humans. You shouldn't have pressed that button alone." Alex's stomach tightened. He hadn't just made a mistake. He might have created a doorway to other worlds, and now an alien teen was stuck in his bedroom. His mind raced with possibilities. Could he help her? Could he explore the galaxy? Or had he just doomed himself to an adventure too big to handle? The girl noticed his panic and smiled faintly. "Relax. I'm not going to hurt you, but we need to stabilize the device. Quickly." Alex nodded. Okay, tell me what to do." For the next hour, the two of them worked together. Alex handed tools, followed instructions, and marveled at her knowledge of physics, energy, and technology. She explained the theory behind teleportation, describing how energy threads connected all points in the universe. "It's not just moving from one place to another," she said. It's bending reality itself. Alex's head spun. He had imagined teleportation as stepping from room to room or planet to planet, but she was talking about bending space-time, threads of energy and resonance. Humans might be extraordinary, she said, but so was the universe. Finally, after countless adjustments, sparks, and minor explosions, the device stabilized. The hum faded, leaving a quiet, glowing pulse. "It's ready," she said. "I can try to return home." Alex hesitated. "Wait, what if it happens again? Or what if I come with you?" She tilted her head. "You could, but your world, your people, they aren't ready for what's out there. Humans are strong, clever, brave, but the galaxy is full of dangers you can't imagine." Alex's mind raced. Danger, adventure, other worlds, and yet the thought of leaving everything he knew behind, school, friends, even his cat, made him pause. She smiled again. "Don't worry. For now I'll just go home, but maybe one day you'll see how extraordinary you are." With that, she touched the device. The air shimmered. The hum grew louder, brighter, and then with a pop she was gone. Alex blinked. The room was quiet. Whiskers purred, oblivious to the cosmic event. The device lay on the floor, glowing softly, waiting for the next adventure. Alex sank onto his bed, heart pounding. He had just met someone from another world. Someone who said humans were extraordinary. And for the first time in his life, he felt it too. The universe had opened a door and he had seen it. Little did he know, this was only the beginning. The threads of fate had already started weaving his story, and soon the galaxy itself would call on him in ways he could never imagine. The morning after the unexpected visitor vanished, Alex couldn't sleep. His mind raced with questions, excitement, and a little fear. The teleportation device sat quietly on his desk, glowing faintly as if it remembered what had just happened. Alex stared at it, thinking of all the possibilities. The girl had called humans extraordinary, but he had never felt extraordinary in his life. He was just Alex, a normal teenager with messy hair, too many video games, and a love for science. But now he felt different. He picked up the device, examining it carefully. The girl had left instructions, simple notes, diagrams, and warnings. Alex smiled at the handwriting. It wasn't exactly human handwriting. It was precise, elegant, with symbols he didn't recognize. Still, he understood the basics. "Okay, Alex," he muttered to himself. "Today you try something small, just a test." He chose a simple target, the garage. Not another planet, not another world, just the garage. He had spent hours thinking about what could go wrong. The garage had old tools, boxes, and, thankfully, no living beings that could get hurt. Alex set the device on the floor, following the instructions exactly. He adjusted the dials, aligned the coordinates, and took a deep breath. "Here goes nothing." He pressed the button. The hum returned, low and steady. The room shimmered slightly. Alex watched in amazement as his hand seemed to fade, then reappear in the garage. His heart pounded. It worked. He took a cautious step forward. The floor felt normal. He could move, touch objects, and everything felt real. He smiled, excited and proud. But then the hum grew louder. Sparks shot from the device. Alex froze. "Oh no, what now?" The device's lights flickered. A holographic screen appeared, showing the coordinates he had just used, and another set he hadn't selected. A new portal was forming, not in the garage, but somewhere else entirely. Alex's stomach turned. He realized that the device was not entirely stable. He could go to unexpected places if he wasn't careful. Suddenly, a shadow appeared in the garage. Alex jumped back. A small creature, about the size of a rabbit with shiny scales and glowing eyes, hopped onto a box. It looked at him curiously, then sniffed the air. Hi," Alex said nervously. "You're not supposed to be here." The creature twitched its ears and made a soft, musical sound. Alex had no idea if it was friendly or dangerous. He slowly reached out and the creature nudged his hand gently. Alex laughed nervously. "Okay, small world. You're not scary, I think." He realized the device must have transported something from another place, or maybe another dimension. He had created a tiny breach, a window into a world beyond Earth. For the rest of the morning, Alex experimented carefully. He learned how to control the device, how to stabilize it, and how to prevent random objects or creatures from appearing. Each small success filled him with pride. He felt extraordinary, just like the girl had said. By afternoon, Alex was confident enough to try something bigger. He set the device to a distant location he had never seen, a lush forest with enormous trees and rivers that glowed with soft light. He knew it was risky, but the curiosity inside him was too strong to ignore. He pressed the button. The world shimmered. The hum grew louder, brighter, and suddenly Alex was standing in the middle of the glowing forest. The air smelled fresh and strange. Birds or bird-like creatures sang in harmonies he had never heard before. The trees were tall, with leaves that reflected light like tiny mirrors. Small creatures peeked from behind branches, watching him carefully. Alex walked slowly, amazed. Every step felt like walking into a dream. He wanted to explore, to see everything, but he remembered the warnings. The girl had said the galaxy was full of dangers. Suddenly, the ground shook. Alex stumbled. A massive shadow moved between the trees. He froze. A huge creature appeared, a reptilian being with wings folded against its back and scales that shimmered in rainbow colors. It stared at him with intelligent eyes. Alex's heart raced. Hello," he said nervously. "I'm friendly," the creature tilted its head. Then to Alex's amazement it spoke, not in words but in his mind, a voice clear and calm yet strange. "You are human. Why are you here?" Alex gulped. He hadn't expected it to communicate telepathically. I'm exploring. I didn't mean to intrude. I just wanted to see." The creature's eyes narrowed slightly. "Humans are curious, rarely cautious, but you carry potential. There is something unusual about you." Alex's stomach tightened. He had never felt so seen. The creature's words reminded him of the girl, the alien who had called humans extraordinary. I don't know what to say," he admitted. The creature nodded slowly. "Observe, learn, but beware. Not all worlds welcome outsiders." With that, it spread its wings and vanished into the sky, leaving Alex alone in the glowing forest. He breathed deeply, feeling both excitement and fear. He had touched another world. He had felt the presence of something bigger than Earth. And he realized the galaxy was much larger, stranger, and more beautiful than he could have imagined. Alex returned to his room through the device, heart pounding. He collapsed onto his bed, thinking. Humans really were extraordinary. He had just glimpsed the edges of the universe. And if he could do this, who knew what else he could accomplish? The next few days were a whirlwind. Alex carefully experimented with the device, always starting small. He discovered that he could teleport objects, small creatures, and even himself to distant places safely, sometimes even other dimensions. He wrote detailed notes, diagrams, and observations. One evening, as he documented his latest experiment, the device flickered. The hum grew soft at first, then louder. A familiar shimmer appeared in the middle of his room. Alex froze. The girl was back. She looked exactly the same as before, bright hair, shimmering clothes, but now her expression was serious. "You've been busy," she said. "I see you've learned much in a short time." Alex grinned nervously. "Yeah, I think I understand it better now, but I've seen something strange. Creatures, worlds, things I didn't expect." She nodded. "Good, that is why you must be careful. The universe is beautiful but also dangerous. Many beings do not welcome humans. Many species have powers we cannot imagine." Alex swallowed. I think I can handle it." She studied him carefully. "Perhaps, but courage alone is not enough. Curiosity can be a gift or a curse." Alex looked at the device glowing softly on the floor. The forest, the creature, the unknown worlds waiting for him, his heart raced. "I want to see more," he said quietly. The girl smiled faintly. Then you must learn patience, observation, and respect. Humans may be extraordinary, Alex, but the universe tests all who enter it, and soon you will be tested. Before he could ask what she meant, the shimmer disappeared, leaving Alex alone. The room was quiet. Whiskers jumped onto his bed, curling up beside him. Alex stared at the device. Adventure awaited, danger awaited, but more than anything, the galaxy awaited. And Alex was ready. Alex woke up early, the morning sun spilling across his room. The teleportation device lay on his desk, glowing faintly as if it were aware of his thoughts. His mind raced with the possibilities of the universe, but one thing lingered in his memory, the words of the girl. The universe tests all who enter it, and soon you will be tested. Today he decided he would test himself, not just the device, not just curiosity, himself. He carefully calibrated the coordinates for a planet she had mentioned in passing, a place called Violia. According to her notes, it was rich in unique flora and fauna, and the planet's energy currents were known to interact strangely with teleportation devices. In other words, it was risky. Alex swallowed hard and pressed the button. The familiar shimmer filled his room, lights flickered, and in an instant he was no longer in his bedroom. Violia was breathtaking. Tall, iridescent trees rose like crystal towers, their branches intertwining into glowing arches. The sky was streaked with colors he had never seen, and floating islands drifted lazily in the distance. Strange animals, some hovering, some crawling, moved gracefully among the flora. Alex stepped carefully onto the soft, moss-like ground. His heart pounded. Everything felt alive. The air itself hummed with energy. He felt different. A tingling warmth spread through his body. This planet, he realized, responded to presence, thought, and intent. He walked further, marveling at the scenery, and spotted a small, glowing creature near a stream. It looked like a fox made of liquid light, and it stared at him with intelligent, shining eyes. Alex crouched slowly. "Hey, I mean you no harm," he said softly. The creature tilted its head, then leapt toward him. It didn't bite or attack. Instead, it pressed against his hand like it was testing him. Alex smiled. "I think you like me," he whispered. Suddenly, a loud, thunderous roar echoed across the forest. The ground shook. Birds and creatures scattered. The glowing fox-like creature dashed into the trees. Alex froze. From between two massive trees, a massive predator emerged. Its body was sleek and black, covered in segmented armor. Four glowing eyes studied him, and its claws scraped the ground, leaving deep furrows. Alex's heart raced. He had expected challenges, but this was something else entirely. He tried to remain calm. "Okay, deep breath, you're extraordinary. You've handled challenges before." The creature growled, low and threatening. It didn't attack immediately, but it circled him slowly, testing him. Alex remembered the girl's words, "Courage alone is not enough." He had to think. He noticed the energy currents flowing along the ground, thin streams of glowing light. Perhaps, he thought, the planet itself could help him. He carefully stepped onto one of the streams, feeling a hum in his feet. The predator hesitated, sniffing the air, unsure of these currents. Alex experimented. He moved slowly along the energy streams, shifting weight, watching the predator's reactions. Each step seemed to channel some energy through him. His pulse synchronized with the rhythm of the planet. He could feel the predator's hesitation, its uncertainty. He took a deep breath and remembered another tip from the girl: observation. Study first, act second. He focused. The predator's eyes glowed brighter when he looked directly at it, but its body remained tense, not attacking. Suddenly, Alex noticed movement in the trees above. Small, bioluminescent vines dangled, swaying unnaturally. He realized the predator was afraid of heights. It didn't climb, and it couldn't reach the vines. A plan formed. Alex carefully stepped closer to a tree and touched one of the vines. Energy shot through him, stronger than before. The predator growled and backed away slightly. He felt a strange connection. The planet itself seemed to respond to him, amplifying his presence. He continued, moving slowly, guiding the predator with subtle motions. It followed, curious but cautious, never attacking directly. Alex realized he wasn't just surviving, he was learning, adapting. Humans, he thought, were extraordinary not just because of strength, but because of creativity, courage, and curiosity. Hours passed. Alex explored, avoiding danger while observing the predator. He discovered that Violia was alive in a way he had never imagined. Every plant, every stream, every current was connected. He could feel it, sense it, and he could use it to his advantage. Finally, as the sun dipped behind floating islands, the predator stopped. Its glowing eyes studied Alex once more, then slowly retreated into the forest. Alex exhaled, relief washing over him. He had survived. He had faced a real challenge, an intelligent, dangerous creature on a world unlike Earth, and had come out unharmed, stronger, and wiser. He sat beside a glowing stream, letting the soft light wash over him. His heart still pounded, but he felt a new sense of confidence. The girl had been right. Humans were extraordinary, but it was not magic. It was their ability to think, adapt, and persevere. As night fell on Violia, Alex decided it was time to return home. He carefully set the device, feeling the hum of energy and the planet's currents flowing through him one last time. He pressed the button. In an instant, he was back in his bedroom, the familiar surroundings grounding him. Whiskers purred at his side, oblivious to the cosmic adventure. Alex sat on the bed, smiling. He knew this was only the beginning. Violia had tested him, but bigger challenges awaited. He was learning not just to teleport, but to survive, adapt, and explore. And he was beginning to understand what the girl had meant. The universe tests all who enter it. The next morning, Alex woke with a new resolve. He carefully documented his experiences, noting the predator, the energy currents, and the ways the planet responded to him. He realized that exploration wasn't just about traveling. It was about understanding, observing, and respecting the worlds he visited. Hours later, as he was adjusting the device for another trial, the shimmer appeared again. The girl had returned, her expression unreadable. "You've changed," she said quietly. "You faced a real challenge and survived. Most humans would fail, most humans would panic, but you—" Alex felt pride, but he kept his voice calm. "I learned, I listened, I adapted, and I realized humans can be extraordinary if we try." She nodded, a small smile forming. "Exactly, but remember, courage alone is not enough. There will be beings far stronger than anything you faced, and not all will test you to teach you. Some will test you to destroy you." Alex swallowed. The thrill of adventure was exciting, but her words reminded him that danger was real. He looked at the device, glowing softly. Worlds waited, challenges waited, and the universe itself seemed to hum with anticipation. "I understand," he said. "I'll be careful, I'll learn. And I'll face whatever comes next." The girl studied him, her eyes reflecting faint starlight. "Good. You are learning what it truly means to be extraordinary, and soon you will have to choose comfort or the adventure that only humans can handle." With that, she shimmered and vanished once more, leaving Alex alone, his mind racing with possibilities. Alex looked at the device, at Whiskers, at the posters of stars and spaceships on the wall. Adventure awaited, danger awaited, the galaxy awaited. And for the first time, Alex didn't feel afraid. Alex sat on his bed, staring at the teleportation device. The past few days had changed him. He had faced creatures, explored strange worlds, and felt the pulse of the universe itself. He had learned what the girl meant when she said humans were extraordinary. It wasn't just strength or bravery. It was curiosity, adaptability, and the courage to act wisely. Today, though, he felt a new kind of anticipation. The girl had sent a faint shimmer signal, a message only he could detect. She had said, "There will be a test, one that will push your mind, body, and spirit. Are you ready?" Alex took a deep breath. He was ready. He pressed the button, the familiar hum filling the room. The world shimmered, then blinked out. When his eyes opened, he was standing on a vast, floating platform high above a shimmering sea of clouds. Towering spires of crystal surrounded him, and the sky was streaked with shifting colors like a living painting. "Welcome," a calm, melodic voice echoed around him. Alex looked around, but there was no one visible. The air itself seemed alive, shimmering with energy. "This is the ultimate test," the girl's voice said, appearing as a holographic image before him. Her eyes were serious. "Here, you will face challenges designed not to harm, but to teach. Only those who understand the essence of being human can succeed." Alex's heart pounded. The floating platform stretched endlessly in all directions, and strange structures moved slowly as if breathing. He had never seen anything like it. "First lesson," the girl said, "observation and patience. You will find the path forward, but it is hidden. Act rashly and the challenge will reset." Alex looked carefully. The platform was not empty. Faint patterns in the crystal surface glimmered, but only under certain angles of light. He crouched, examining them closely. After a few minutes, he noticed a subtle trail of energy, almost like footprints, leading toward a distant spire. He followed the trail, moving cautiously. Along the way, the air shifted. Holographic illusions appeared, creatures, landscapes, and obstacles designed to confuse him. Each time, Alex stopped, observed, and ignored distractions, focusing on the energy trail. The girl's voice echoed softly. "Humans survive not because they can fight every danger, but because they can think, adapt, and persevere." Hours passed, though time felt strange. Alex moved carefully, learning to sense patterns in the illusions, distinguishing reality from trickery. He realized the test was not physical, it was mental, a puzzle of perception and intuition. Finally, he reached the first spire. At its base, a massive crystal door glowed. Symbols of light shifted across its surface. Alex studied them carefully, recalling what he had learned on Violia. The energy of a place responded to intent, calm focus, and respect. He reached out, touching the door lightly. It pulsed with energy, then shifted, opening a narrow passage. Alex stepped through. Inside, the spire stretched impossibly high, winding like a spiral staircase. Strange creatures floated alongside him, observing silently but making no attack. The walls were covered in glowing inscriptions. Alex traced his fingers across them, realizing they contained knowledge about countless worlds, energy threads, and the laws of space-time. "This is incredible," he whispered. Humans might be small, fragile, and unassuming, but here, knowledge and curiosity mattered more than raw power. At the top of the spiral, he found a platform suspended in midair. A holographic sphere hovered above it, glowing with energy and images of countless worlds. The girl appeared again. "Final lesson," she said. "Humans are extraordinary because they connect. Intelligence alone is not enough. Compassion, cooperation, and understanding of others are what make you special." Suddenly, the sphere split into multiple smaller spheres, each containing a world in danger. Some had natural disasters, others faced strange creatures or chaotic energy. Alex realized the test. He had to stabilize each world using his understanding, observation, and judgment. He approached the first sphere. Energy pulsed through him as he touched it. He adjusted the currents, observed the feedback, and slowly stabilized the miniature world. He moved to the next, then the next. Each one required attention, calm thinking, and careful action. Some were easy, others nearly overwhelmed him. But he remembered everything he had learned, the energy currents on Violia, the predator's behavior, and the patience required to solve puzzles. Hours, or perhaps minutes, time was uncertain, passed. Finally, the last sphere stabilized. A wave of energy pulsed through the platform, lifting Alex slightly off the ground. He felt a deep warmth and understanding wash over him. He had completed the ultimate test, not with strength or magic, but with human ingenuity, observation, and empathy. The girl appeared before him, her expression softening. "You have succeeded, Alex. Few humans could have passed this trial. You have learned what it means to be extraordinary. Courage, curiosity, intelligence, and compassion. These are the qualities that define humanity in the galaxy." Alex smiled, feeling proud but humble. I understand now. Humans are strong not just because of what we can do, but because of how we think, feel, and act." She nodded. "Exactly. And now you are ready. The universe is vast and many worlds await. But remember, every action has consequences. Your choices, your curiosity, your courage, they can shape worlds." Before he could respond, the shimmering platform faded. The teleportation device pulsed in his room. In a blink, he was back, standing in his bedroom, surrounded by familiar walls, posters, and whiskers, who yawned lazily. Alex looked at the device and smiled. He had learned more in the past days than he could have imagined. He had seen the galaxy, faced dangers, solved puzzles, and understood the extraordinary potential of humans. He sat on his bed, thinking about what the girl had said. Many worlds awaited, many challenges and countless adventures. But now he knew he was ready. Not because he was perfect, but because he had the human qualities that no other species could replicate: curiosity, courage, intelligence, and compassion. The device hummed softly on the desk. Alex glanced at it, heart pounding with excitement. The next adventure was waiting. And for the first time, Alex didn't feel afraid. He felt alive, capable, and ready to face the universe. The galaxy was calling, and Alex was a human, extraordinary, fearless, and unstoppable. "She teleports into my bed, without warning, without clothes.